Now, from the 7th grade forward to this instance of overcoming this shyness, are you saying that the leadership abilities you had demonstrated in the 6th grade didn't follow you along in the same period too? What about college and law school?
It followed me along, but not in speaking or large groups.
Okay.
I was still active in my, 8th grade we had 3 divisions, and I was still very active there. In high school, I was the treasurer of my whole senior class. But I think if I had been in my regular class, I might have been president.
Okay.
I was editor of the yearbook, and I was in all of the activities, High Wire Club and the Safety Club and this, that, and the other. But more or less at a subordinate level. I worked better through groups. I worked better in getting my will, and perhaps it has followed me through all of my career, because when I was with Dr. King at the SCLC, I never ever sought any leadership role. He called on me to do things that perhaps others didn't want to be bothered with. When we had the annual meeting, the books would be a mess. And he would ask me to get with Dora McDonald and 1 or 2 others and try to, and so the whole convention, I'd be in the back room trying to put figures together, and I was pretty good with them. And so we could make our presentation to the press. That's why I eventually ended up as financial secretary of SCLC. Others would do the, speech making and all of that. So in a sense, throughout my future life, for many years, my leadership role was secondary and subordinate. I dealt with a lot of older men in fraternal organizations. I'd end up being the secretary and advisor while they had the top role, and never bothered me to do that. That's why I've been disturbed by some young people who have to either be the boss or they can't do anything. I learned how to get along and how to have great influence without being the last word. Now, in my professional life, I guess I became sort of spoiled because I became a judge, which means you're on your own. When I was on the Federal Communications Commission, though I was on a collegial body of 7, you're independent. You don't have to kowtow. When I went to NAACP, I was executive director and CEO, and I've been Grand Master of Masons in my state and head of many other organizations. But my training was learn how to get along with people and work with people. And even today, some people don't think I can do that. They think because I was at the top that I can work in a subordinate role.
But this ability to get along with other people, do you think, or can you recall instances in high school or even younger where this began to manifest itself in your personality? This ability to get others to work with you and you to play either subordinate or primary roles. When did this happen?
I think it started as early as I can remember, because at the time I was in school, I was always with a whole group of strong personalities, even little kids, And I sort of learned how to listen to what they were saying and come up with a position in between. At the NAACP, for the most part, I avoided a great deal of conflict by listening to what people had to say. And if they had any merit, trying to find it. And not just summarily dismissing them, you know what I'm saying? And wherever I've done it, I've made a tremendous mistake. The 2 or 3 instances in my life where I've been harsh with people, it came back to haunt me. That's not my confrontational style, is not mine. And yet, I'm as persistent in what I want as anybody you could ever see. But I just approach it perhaps from a different angle. And I think that started in my early childhood.